Rachel Ray, weekdays at 10 on ABC7.
Welcome to World News Tonight. The secret interview with the world's most wanted drug lord, El Chapo, telling his story to Sean Penn. Did the interview lead to his downfall? The actor's clandestine trip to a jungle hideout. Also, we take you inside the sewer El Chapo used to try to escape. What we found. Billion-dollar jackpot, the world's biggest lottery prize ballooning after no winner in last night's drawing. Why the chances that someone will win may be growing.
I feel lucky.
Clinton in trouble? Bernie Sanders closing the gap. Could she lose the first two primary contests? And Donald Trump doubling down on Ted Cruz's birther dilemma. Bold and busted, the young woman accused of stealing $4 million in jewels, now under arrest. The string of jewelry stores she hit, how the FBI tracked her down.
This is ABC World News Tonight.
And welcome to World News Tonight. The secret interview with the world's most wanted drug lord, El Chapo, telling his story to Sean Penn. Did the interview lead to his downfall? The actor's clandestine trip to a jungle hideout. All coming up. Matt Gutman reporting now from Mexico.
That staged handshake documenting Sean Penn's secret meeting with the world's most wanted drug lord. And then this stunning video posted to Rolling Stone's website. The video testimonial shot by one of his lieutenants for Penn and Mexican soap opera megastar Kate Del Castillo, his longtime jail pen pal, who he hoped would make a biopic about his life. Amidst the squawking of roosters, El Chapo was unrepentant about narcotics trafficking. Penn, quoting El Chapo, was acknowledging that he's the world's biggest drug lord with a fleet of submarines, airplanes, trucks, and boats. Two of those planes, Penn writes, were used to ferry the Academy Award winner to El Chapo's jungle hideout. Penn says the 7-hour conversation was consummated by tequila and facilitated by clandestine BlackBerry messages between the actress and El Chapo. But on Friday, a very different photo op. El Chapo arrested, muscled towards a chopper, his face twisted towards the cameras. But the narco, who twice busted out of Mexican supermaxes, squeezing into a drainage pipe as Mexican Marines closed in on him Friday, emerging hundreds of yards away, pulling up this manhole. And you look inside, you can see that M4 with the rocket launcher that the two of them apparently used.
All right, it's about a little less than chest high in here. It is extremely claustrophobic in here. And you can see down there how far it goes. When they were about to pop up through this manhole, they apparently left this, it looks like an M4 rifle with a grenade launcher here, then carjacked a car right up above and tried to get out to the highway. El Chapo finally corralled on this gravel road, spirited to a nearby hotel for this iconic photo. And they hope to keep him incarcerated by beefing up security at that prison he broke out of last year. And it's the fear of a third escape in his career that's one of the reasons Mexican authorities are now agreeing to begin the process of extraditing him to the U.S. Tom?
Making sure he doesn't slip away again. Okay, Matt, thank you. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas joins us now. And Pierre, did the authorities you're talking to say that Sean Penn interview led to El Chapo's arrest?
Tom, Mexican authorities have suggested as much, that the meeting helped them narrow down El Chapo's location. And perhaps equally important is that Sean Penn interview in which El Chapo allegedly admits that he shipped all that cocaine and heroin worldwide. That's precisely the case that U.S. prosecutors have laid out against him, Tom.
Now, Pierre, is Sean Penn in any legal trouble for interviewing an international fugitive?
Mexican authorities say they're investigating, but U.S. officials have not commented. Penn says he was playing the role of journalist. None of the law enforcement officials I spoke to are suggesting that Penn is in their crosshairs. They say he's a sideshow. They want El Chapo.
All right, Pierre, thank you. Next to that extraordinary other development, the Powerball drawing and no winning ticket in the $949 million jackpot. Everyone, including myself, checking their tickets with those winning numbers, but no dice. So those millions now roll over the new jackpot, too big to even show on these signs. Here's ABC's Clayton Sandell.
Tonight, 32.
With no winner Saturday night.
The Powerball is $1.3 billion.
The lottery hopeful are already lining up again.
Get a house in Malibu.
Definitely a house in Malibu.
The $1.3 billion estimated jackpot is a new world record, making Powerball a powerful draw.
People who don't usually play are
picking up tickets.
In places like Texas, tickets Saturday were selling as fast as 25,000 per minute.
I drove 3 hours to get here.
The jackpot is so big thanks to last year's new rule that makes it harder to win. Odds jumped from 1 in 175 million to 1 in 292 million. The odds of getting killed by an asteroid are a lot better. The massive jackpot is even bigger than the economic output of 18 countries. Money that could make a big difference.
$1.3 billion could build 9,000 apartment units for people who are homeless in Los Angeles.
And of course, many people have told us that they would give a lot of money to charity. And you can see the line here in Hawthorne, California is so long because this store is considered lucky. But take a look. They don't even have enough space there to list a $1 billion payout. They're going to need a bigger sign, Tom.
A lot of money. All right, Clayton, thank you so much. To politics now. In the race for the White House, it's tightening. The latest poll showing Cruz edging past Trump, but still tied within the margin of error among likely caucus goers in Iowa. But the bigger surprise, Sanders closing in on Hillary Clinton in the Hawkeye state, and that has her campaign admitting they are nervous. ABC's Devin Dwyer at the White House.
Tonight in New Hampshire, Hillary Clinton is playing catch-up.
As your president.
Trailing Bernie Sanders in the Granite State, Clinton's campaign is sending panicked emails that the race is seriously tight.
I think we're gaining steam here in Iowa. I think we have an excellent chance to win here.
Now neck and neck with Sanders in Iowa, too, Clinton's sharpening her attacks.
To stop them, stand with her.
In a new TV ad, Clinton suggests she's the more electable candidate. But in the latest poll, Hillary is tied with Trump in New Hampshire and loses to Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. Sanders beats all three.
These polls go up, they go down. I stay pretty focused.
Wow. Also under pressure in Iowa tonight, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump.
We're sort of like tied with Ted Cruz.
Cruz has spent a week barnstorming Iowa by bus, and today he knocked Trump's signature plan to deport millions of immigrants.
I don't intend to send jackboots to knock on your door and every door in America.
In Nevada, Trump fired back with another hit on Cruz for being born in Canada.
Is he a natural-born citizen? Some people, I don't know.
The first GOP debate of the year is later this week in South Carolina. Clinton and Sanders face off tomorrow night on her sister network Fusion, as the White House says President Obama won't endorse a candidate in the primary. Tom?
Devin Dwyer for us at the White House. Devin, thank you. The Philadelphia area man accused of firing more than a dozen times at a police officer facing a judge this weekend. The incident caught on security camera. You see it there. Police say Edward Archer confessing to the attack in the name of Islam. Arraigned and held without bond, Officer Jesse Hartnett struck 3 times, but there you see him giving chase and wounding his attacker. In an interview, Archer's mother said he had been hearing voices and felt he was targeted by police. Overseas now to Germany, where some refugees are being blamed for widespread assaults on New Year's Eve. Tonight, the number of attacks reported is growing, and so is the anger. Many were sexual offenses against women. The attacks fueling the debate over welcoming immigrants. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran reporting from Cologne.
Turmoil and rage in Germany as anti-refugee protests this weekend in the city of Cologne turn ugly. Germans are furious about those mass attacks that took place here on New Year's Eve. Hundreds of young men, most described by victims and police as appearing to be of Arab or North African origin, targeting women, assaulting and robbing them.
They directly surrounded us and we couldn't move.
Michelle, who doesn't want us to use her last name here, spoke to us in the very square where it happened.
We're like grabbing.
Yeah, just everywhere they could touch.
More than 500 victims have filed criminal complaints in Cologne.
What happened here and in other cities has shocked Germany to its core and put Chancellor Angela Merkel under tremendous pressure. Many people are asking, after this country let in more than 1 million refugees and migrants last year, are Germans still safe?
Merkel says she will now consider toughening deportation laws on refugees who commit crimes. So far, police in Cologne have detained 34 suspects. At least 21 of them are refugees seeking asylum in Germany. Terry Moran, ABC News, Cologne, Germany.
To South Korea now, and an American show of force. A B-2 bomber flying low over South Korea, along with South Korean fighter jets. The flight's aiming to send a message to North Korea after they detonated a nuclear bomb last week. And from Florence, Italy tonight, a murder mystery. Police investigating the death of an American woman who lived there. popular in her neighborhood and active on social media. ABC's Alex Marquardt in Florence tonight with the clues.
Tonight, a mystery in the heart of Tuscany. American Ashley Olsen found dead in her studio apartment. Investigators say she had bruises and scratches on her neck. Police scouring the building in this upscale Florence neighborhood. Italian media has reported that she had a fight with her boyfriend a few days ago. After not hearing from her, he asked the landlord to let him in and found the body. He and several of Olsen's friends have been questioned. So far, authorities say they have no suspects.
I can't imagine a person who would hurt her. She is a gentle, a kind, a beautiful, friendly, lovely girl, and it's an awful shock. We've got a great community here of people, and everyone loved her.
The bubbly 35-year-old from Florida, seen here modeling, arrived in Florence in 2012, reportedly to join her father and work in fashion. Olsen was known in her neighborhood as the American often seen with her beloved beagle Scout, her social media accounts full of photos of the pair.
The expat community here in Florence is stunned by Olsen's death. One of her friends told ABC News today she was fun, grounded, and worked hard. Italy's police chief saying also today that they will devote maximum attention to solving this murder. Tom?
ABC's Alex Marquardt for us tonight. Alex, thank you. To the weather tonight, an EF2 tornado. Take a look in Cape Coral, Florida. The neighborhood ripped apart, tens of thousands of people losing power. To the north, freezing cold. The Vikings and Seahawks could see their own breath. Sun-freezing temperatures at the kickoff in Minneapolis, the coldest Vikings game in history. ABC meteorologist Indra Peterson is here. And Indra, that cold is sweeping across the country now?
Yeah, and it's actually the system that brought the warm air and the rain to the northeast, about 1 to 2 inches in places like New York City and D.C. today. But here's the catch. It has been very windy, and that's because a big change is on the way, and that is the cold air on the backside of the system. Remember, the Great Lakes, the water's still warm. You put cold air over it. We're talking about lake effect snow, 1 to 2 feet of snow in the hot spots. Still possible, but there you go. Look at the wake-up temperatures. That morning wind chill, Indianapolis tomorrow morning. Watch out, 0. 6 below in Chicago. New York City, yes, better, but I wouldn't say warm at 21. But this is where we're supposed to be. It's mid-January.
Yeah, going to be freezing in the Midwest, though. All right, Indra, thanks so much. But weather not a problem in Arizona, where the college football championship game is set for tomorrow night. The whole season coming down to this game between Clemson and Alabama. ABC's Jesse Palmer with how the teams match up.
Tonight, the countdown to that epic battle. Number 1, Clemson, going for an unprecedented 15-0 against Alabama, hoping for their 16th national championship. The Tiger star quarterback Deshaun Watson hoping to lead the way.
Deshaun Watson, touchdown, Clemson.
But they will have to get past the Crimson Tide's Heisman Trophy winner Derrick Henry.
Henry breaking free, heading to the end zone, touchdown, Alabama.
Alabama looking for redemption after falling just short of making it to the national title game last year. The coaches, 2 of the biggest personalities in college football. Clemson's Dabo Swinney, known for those raucous post-game interviews.
I can't give you guts, and I can't give you heart. And tonight, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
And those moves. Over at Alabama, Nick Saban.
Saban with his 3rd national championship at Alabama.
Looking for his 5th national title.
And Jesse joins us now from the University of Phoenix Stadium. And Jesse, Clemson is number 1, but they're not favored to win?
That's right. Not a lot of respect for the Clemson Tigers, and they're the undefeated team here. It's actually Alabama who's favored to win by 7 points. That's a lot. But regardless of who the favorite is, I think this game promises to be a really good one.
Looking forward to it. All right, Jesse, thank you. And tomorrow, David Muir will anchor World News from the site of the big game. Don't miss all the action. College football's national championship tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, only on ESPN. Still ahead tonight, a crime spree targeting jewelry stores across the South. This woman, a popular waitress, taking whatever she wants, millions of dollars in jewelry. How police tracked her down. New details. Was she living a double life? And later, scandal in Spain, why a princess is about to go on trial. Those stories coming up.
ABC World News Tonight, brought to you by Wjla Financial.
Whoa.
what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Allison. I'm Val, the orange money retirement squirrel from Wjla.
Val from Wjla?
Yeah, Val from Wjla.
Quick question. What are Wjla retirement squirrels doing in my house?
We're putting away acorns, you know, to show the importance of saving for the future.
So you're sort of like a spokesperson?
No, I'm more like a metaphor.
Okay, a spokesmetaphor.
No, I'm...
You're a spokesmetaphor.